Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of If I'm Being Honest. So, today on If I'm Being Honest, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about time and more specifically about how we live like time is guaranteed. I've been thinking about it a lot recently, this thing about time, and more specifically about how we always postpone things and how we always say we'll do it later and stuff like that. And I found myself doing this recently. Basically, there was like this concert I really wanted to go, and none of my friends were interested in going. They don't listen to the artist, they don't listen to the type of music. And I was like, "Memx tamel, I won't go either." Then I was like, "Then, but why am I not going to do something? Like, I have no guarantee that I'll get the opportunity to see him again." So I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go anyway, regardless of who is doing this, who's coming, whatever. And I came to this conclusion. وسنة قالت نايدلكم ده كله. It ties into today's episode about time and how we take it for granted. And I could have taken it for granted and, said, like he's playing in August somewhere else. So I could have been like, we, yes, I see him in August, or my could but that would be me living like my time is guaranteed, and it's just not. Recently, I've been asking myself, if someone told you have 5 years left to live, would your life look different to what it does right now? Because, and I also do this, we all genuinely, okay, not all, most of us live like our time is guaranteed. We plan our lives as if we have endless tomorrows, and we postpone things that matter to us that we really want to do, and we tell ourselves we can start living at a later time. Earlier this year, like a month or two ago, I read Tuesdays with Maury, and it really made me sit with the idea of time in a way that I hadn't really thought about before. And basically, the book is a series of conversations between a professor who's dying and his former student, and he teaches him like a bunch of life lessons. There are two quotes from the book that really struck me. The first one was, people who avoid thinking about death often drift through life. People who accept it live deliberately. And I think if we're all being a bit honest, I think we all kind of drift more than we realize, and we stay in situations that we've outgrown, whether it's relationships, friendships, or even like a job. And we say to ourselves that we'll wait for the right time to start things. And you assume that there's always going to be tomorrow or a couple of months or a year from now for you to be able to change something. But this is just not guaranteed. And this idea of like waiting for the right time, there's no such thing as right time. You just have time, and you just have now and what you choose to do with it. You can't wait to do something. You can't wait until you're not scared. You have to do it scared. And I think courage comes with the action and not before it. And when you actually confront these things, that you accept that time isn't guaranteed, I think your priorities will shift a little bit, and your life will start to look differently. We end up delaying our lives, even like small things, for example, like saying, when the occasion's right, I'll wear the dress, or when the time's right. You wait to feel confident to do something, and you wait until it feels safer, but time doesn't wait for us. It just passes us by. And it comes down to fear. We don't do things because we're scared of doing it alone, we're scared of the outcome of if we do this. And so we remain in this bubble where we're able to feel safe, and we just don't act on the things we want to do. The second quote from the book was, once you learn how to die, you learn to live. And my understanding of this quote is that it's when you accept that life is finite, that you stop wasting it on silly things that just don't matter, and you stop shrinking yourself for other people, and you don't stay in these places that ultimately don't make you happy, and you stop eating at tables where it's not serving you anymore. And ultimately, and the most important part of it, is you stop assuming that you'll have forever to become the person you want to become. And I think this is something we can all benefit from, just being a bit more honest with ourselves. Is there anything we're waiting to start? Is there a conversation you're delaying having? Are you delaying becoming a version of yourself that you always want to become? Are you letting, dogma and all this stupid stuff that the outside noise get in the way of what you want to be? And I don't know, the more I sit here and I talk, and the more I realize that most things come down to courage, and that if we could only find it in ourselves to have a bit of courage and take the leap, then we would honestly probably be will be better versions of ourselves. And I know, hearing about time and that it's not guaranteed, you think about that. And I don't want to sit here and make it seem like, the world is ending, or that cliche saying of live each day as if it's your last. I'm not saying that at all. And I don't think the goal is to be afraid of dying or death. But I do think that the goal is to remind ourselves and to remind myself that life is happening around us, and it's happening right now. And you should want to live your life the way you want to live your life, and not the way other people want to do it. And stop postponing things. If you want to do something, just do it. Do it with your friends, do it alone, do it scared, because the biggest tragedy here isn't that life ends. It's realizing that you never got to live it. So go out there and live it. And you might hear people say life is short. Life is the longest thing any of us will do. So make sure that you live it, and make sure you live it well. See you next week.